Would you like to ask anything? No question? If you say anything, we can talk something. Oh, okay. Thank you. What's the relationship between meditation and enlightenment? Meditation means we are conditioning and tuning our mind. By meditate something, we are making some arrangement in the mind. By repeatedly doing something, repeatedly concentrate upon something, having some consciousness upon something, thereby we shaping our energy field. Our energy field is shaped through our meditation. So the shaping our energy field is meditation. But enlightenment is a different thing. Enlightenment is meant for liberation. Liberation is our natural state. Our natural state of mind is in the liberated state. Only because of our effort, we are shaping our mind. For example, we may have several kind of emotions. All emotions comes unconsciously, and we know we have some emotion, and the emotion goes away naturally. But when we think we have some emotion, it is a expression of our consciousness. Actually, the consciousness in itself has no expression. Basically, consciousness is consciousness, but it has no expression. But when it comes into the form of emotion, then only we feel consciousness. Otherwise, we cannot feel consciousness. The consciousness itself is without any expression. But when it expresses in the form of emotions, then only we feel consciousness. Otherwise, we cannot feel consciousness. For example, our total body is sensitive. The entire body is sensitivity. But even though the total body is sensitive, we cannot feel the body. But if you touch here, the touch feeling alone we can feel. Otherwise, we cannot feel the body. For example, we have 10 fingers in our hand and 10 fingers in our leg. Can you feel all the 10 fingers one by one? Nobody can feel. If you want to feel any finger of your hand, you have to concentrate and vibrate. Then only you can feel the finger. Otherwise, you cannot feel anything. So only the expression alone we can feel. So in this way, the consciousness itself is unconscious. But only the emotional feeling, the emotion alone we can feel. But the emotion is it is the outcome of the consciousness. And all the emotions, that is known as manolaya. Manolaya means some shape, some particular shape. For example, anger is having a shape, sorrow is having a shape, happiness is having a shape. So in this way, getting a shape is known as a manolaya. And the natural state of consciousness is not manolaya. It is manonasa. Manonasa means without any shape. It cannot be considered this consciousness, this is consciousness, this is consciousness. We cannot have any shape. We cannot have any expression. So only the emotional part alone having some expression, the emotional part alone having some shape. So it is naturally we are having some shape. And in the natural course of our event, natural course of our living, our mind gets some shape. And that shape we name it as emotions. But this is natural happening. And we can create artificially, we can shape our mind. So this artificially shaping of our mind is known as meditation. By meditation, we can shape our mind. We can create some consciousness, we can create some expression of consciousness, some bliss consciousness or some happiness, anything you can create. But whatever you can create, it will go away from you. But for the time being, it will be nice. So all meditation is creating some energy field And the energy field, when it is there, it will be nice. But we cannot retain it always. And very soon it will go away from us. And if it does not go away from you, it will destroy the health of the body itself. So it is good to go away from you very soon. So even though it is a bliss consciousness, even though it is a good energy field, it may be nice. But if it is, if you have more and more, it will destroy the health of the body itself. Because our body cannot withstand any energy field more than for a period. If it is extended for more than a period, it will destroy the body itself. It will destroy the health of the body itself. For example, if you taste sugar, the sweetness is very nice. And if you take the sugar more and more, it will destroy the health. In the same way, whatever may be the feeling, good feeling, bad feeling, good emotion, bad emotions, whatever may be the emotions, if it comes and goes, there is no problem. And if it stays with us, it creates problem. So the liberation is the natural thing, and the enlightenment is that we have to give away all our manolaya, all our emotions. We are giving total, when we give total freedom to your emotions, all emotions will go away from you. When all emotions go away from you, just like a flowing river, that is known as liberation or enlightenment. And if you understand that we have nothing to do with our emotions, and if you are doing anything to create any emotions, all emotions come and go. That is our natural state. Our natural state is the liberation state. But actually, comparing with the enlightenment, liberation is the highest state. And the liberation is our natural state of our mind also. And we need not create liberation. Liberation is our natural state. And for that, the enlightenment gives way to the liberation. The enlightenment helps liberation. But meditation is, for a time being, as a preparatory stage, meditation is very good. And everybody must do meditation. And we have to understand what is meditation and what is beyond meditation. And when we understand meditation, we will not stay for a long time in meditation. So meditation is good in the beginning. It is just like a foundation. We can do meditation. But afterwards, meditation is not necessary. Because our natural state alone is the necessary thing. Actually, we are having the energy field each and every time. When we meet some situation, when we face some situation, we have some emotion naturally. And the emotions comes, if you are in a good situation, good emotion will come. If you are placed in a bad situation, bad emotion will come. But whatever come will go away very, very soon. But if you try to catch hold of something, if you try to remove some emotions from us, then there is a problem. But at the same time, if you are serious enough to create some energy field through meditation, and you will be protected for a certain period, and no adverse emotion will destroy you, no adverse emotion will disturb you, and you can create a energy field around you through your meditation. But this energy field will not last very long. For a certain period alone, it will protect you beyond. But at the same time, we need not protect ourselves, because naturally whatever comes will go away naturally. We need not eliminate anything. We need not deal with any emotions. Whatever comes will go away naturally. So if we understand, we have no work in the psychological world. The very understanding is known as understanding or enlightenment. So this understanding helps liberation. So other kind of understanding will not help liberation. So this understanding alone helps liberation. But whatever helps liberation is known as enlightenment. But creating energy field is for the time being is good. But it is not a permanent solution. It will not give way to the liberation. So it is against liberation. So meditation or any energy field, any emotional, everything is against liberation. Liberation means the natural flowing. The natural flowing is the natural state. But if you create some energy field or create some energy emotion, and staying with the emotion or staying with the energy field is for the time being it will be nice, but it is not good. For example, if you taste some sweetness and our tongue always become sweet. Whenever we consume sugar or any sweet taste food, at once our tongue becomes sweet. But whenever we completed the food, the sweetness will also must go away from our tongue. So if the tongue is always retaining the sweetness with the tongue, it means the tongue becomes out of order. It is not in the order. So whenever it is in the order, whatever it must get anything and it must remove everything. So that is a natural flow of our life, natural flow of our psychological structure. And when we retain something, the retaining something alone is the problem. So the natural flow is the natural state, and that is alone is the highest state also. But when concerning the beginners may be interested upon some of their emotions, and they catch hold of some good emotion and struggle with the bad emotions, and they want to safeguard their life. And if they are not showing a proper way, they will entertain more struggle in the ordinary world. So to safeguard and separate the ordinary people, the meditation is a good thing. Thereby they can have a good emotions and they can good energy field and good feeling. Then everything helps to have some peaceful life. But afterwards, we have to give that peaceful life also. We have to give away whatever comes, it must flow. We may begin with meditation, but we have to go beyond meditation. And then only the natural flowing state will be there. But the natural flowing state is the healthy state of our mind. The retaining any taste is a disorderly state. So whatever we have the taste in the tongue, it must be ready to taste sweetness or bitter taste, whatever it may be. It must be ready to receive everything, but at the same time, it should not retain anything. The sweet is a nice thing, and I will always retain sweetness with me. It is not good. So, if we consider the tongue to be healthy, that it should not retain anything. So, the natural flowing state alone is the natural state. That is the real state. But if anything we have some in the name of emotion or feeling or anything, that is for the time being it may be nice. But at the same time, you have to, when you retain some good feeling, you have to retain some bad feeling also. The sorrow, fear also may enter. And you cannot know how to get rid of that. But when we are in the flowing state, whatever comes will flow from you. And we need not struggle with your feelings. So, concerning the flowing state, there is no difference between good feeling and bad feeling, good emotion and bad emotions. Whatever comes will flow away from you. But whenever you find something is necessary, we can adopt some emotion for the external use. But psychologically, emotion has no use. But if it is useful only to the external circumstances. For the external circumstances, you may use your emotion to deal with the situations. But if the circumstances does not need any emotion, then you need not take hold of adopt your emotion. And if you do not adopt your emotion, the emotion will go away from you. And you need not worry about the emotions. But if you are particular with any emotion, this is good, I will retain it. If this is bad, I will remove it. Then only that is the tendency of struggle. That is the psychological struggle. And if you give total freedom to our emotions, whatever come will go away naturally. So, for that, meditation is only a beginning. And after that, we have to go beyond meditation. And that is our natural state. Dhyana means meditation.
It's meditation, it's the same thing.
So, meditation and dhyana is same. And meditation? So meditation means we are doing something. By doing something, we are creating some energy field. But liberation is not a creation. It is a natural state. Our mind, our psychological structure in the liberated state. So whatever comes will flow. And that is, we are not creating, we are not doing. It by its nature, the flowing is in the nature. It is a natural state. Then what you ask this in this context? I am to follow your accent. The accent is the problem. But beyond means we need not go beyond. Because you are not interested upon, because meditation means, because actually the creation of emotion is the meditation. Each and every moment we are creating emotion. So each and every moment we are doing meditation in a different form. Sitting in a meditative posture is not at all, it is not only meditation, but we are doing meditation each and every moment. Thereby we are creating some energy field, we are creating some emotion each and every moment. So it is a kind of meditation. So here we are not willfully, voluntarily, consciously doing a meditation. It is a natural meditation is going on. But the meditation, we not give importance to the meditation. But for the time being, we may sit meditation and thereby creating some energy field. So for the time being, it is helpful. You will protect you and it will keep you in a good state. But keeping ourselves in a good state is for the time being alone, it is a good. But liberation is not a state. It is a flowing state. It cannot be a fixed state. So whatever comes will flow. Whatever comes will go. That is the natural state. So that is the highest state also. That is the liberation. That is the mukti, moksha, everything they are giving the name. And it is our natural state. We need not work for that. But unconsciously we are creating some emotions. We are creating some feelings. And each and every moment, for example, we are somebody misbehaved ourselves and we have some emotion of anger or fear or anything or sorrow. So the external situation may create some emotion within ourselves. It will have some reaction within ourselves. And through that reaction we have some emotion. And whatever may be, it will go away very soon. And we need not try to eliminate all emotions from us. And we need not protect ourselves with emotions. And if we artificially create some energy field around you, and you may be protected. When you are in the energy field, if anybody misbehaved you will not be anger. You will not get sorrow or anger. For the time being, you will be protected. But the protection will not be forever. For the time being, it will be helpful. But afterwards, you will be in the natural state. But in the natural state, actually the natural state is the highest state. And the temporary protection is for the time being, it may be helpful. But when we are in the flowing state, then whatever comes will flow away naturally. For example, if you write anything in the water, the next moment the writings will go away. So in this way, whatever enters in you will flow away in the flowing structure of your psychological field. So you need not worry about that.
How will you go beyond this technique? Or?
So if you not catch hold of anything, then the moment everything is going on. You need not. There is no technique. You do not catch hold of anything. If you do not catch hold of anything, the flowing is naturally there. You need not do anything. For example, some vessel is there, and in the vessel we have some water, And when in the surface of the water, we touch the water by your finger. So when we touch the water, some ripples will form, some circle will form. And how are you going to remove the circle? By erasing the circle. If you erase the circle in water, it will create more ripples. But if you leave it as it is, it will settle naturally. All ripples will settle naturally. You need not do anything. So in this way, when the water is flowing, the river water is flowing, and we place our hand across the river, either saying stop or go, whatever you do, when you put your hand across the flowing water, the water will circle around your hand. So if it is circling in the clockwise, if you rotate your hand in the anti-clockwise, the circle will not go. Whatever you do, the circle will be there. So if you remove your hand, all circle will go away. You need not remove but the stretching of our hand within the flowing water alone is the creating of the circle. So we need not do anything. So psychologically, we have no work. Actually, physically we have every work. We have to do all our work. Every work is there in the physical world. But psychologically we have no work. But in this time, for the beginners, we may do meditation, japa, dhyana, anything we can do. Everything is helpful. But after that, we have to understand what is beyond the meditation, what is beyond our effort. Because afterwards, effort is not necessary. The natural state alone is helpful. And all things are only artificial. All things are only temporary. We are man-made. That is not natural. But the natural flow is only the natural thing. And in the nature, everything is all right. But for the beginners, everything is good. We can do meditation, whatever be the good practices. We can do all the practices of spiritual world. There are many practices. You can do whatever you like, you can do. But afterwards, we have to go to the natural state. The natural state alone is the good state. That alone is the highest state. For that, no work is necessary. We have to abandon all work. Psychologically, we have to put down all our work. But physically, we have to do. Till the end of our death, we have to do something in the world. We have to do the good thing in the world. But psychologically, we have to stop all the work. We have to leave our psychological world in the natural flow. For that, the understanding alone is enough. If you understand we have no work there, the very understanding will operate.
In why spiritual people go to satsang, have no interest, they do.
But whatever we do, whatever we practice, we have some energy, we have some experience through our practice. So if you are satisfied with our practice, if you are satisfied with our experience, if you are satisfied with the energy field, then we can stay with that. But after some certain period, then only we are bored with that emotions, we are bored with the energy field. Then only we'll again change our approach, change our practice to some other way. And we have some other energy field, we have some other experience, and we will stay there for some more years. So in this way, it goes, but the main thing is that they do not know what is the actual state of enlightenment, what is the actual state of liberation. And if in for example, in the very beginning, if you say what is the actual state of liberation, what is the actual state of enlightenment, nobody will come here because there is nothing here. So we are giving up everything. So if we entertain anything, give up. Please come here and give up everything. Nobody will come. So everybody comes here to attain something, to retain something. So in the name of some bliss consciousness, in the name of some happiness, then only they come here. and they create some happiness through the practices, and but afterwards, and for example, you taste sweetness, some sweet food is there, it is very delicious, and you take one plate of delicious food, it will be very nice, and you take another plate. the quality will be very somewhat minimized, and you take third plate, and it will be very worst, and you again eat fourth plate and fifth plate, and the sixth plate will be a punishment to you, and it will be torture you, and you will shift on to the other dishes. So in this way, whatever you do, you will have some to the end. Afterwards, you have to be free from that. But here, for example, so if you ask what condition of in what condition your tongue must be, if you ask a question, what must be the correct condition of your tongue? And if you say sweet, if it must be always sweet, the sweetness will destroy the health of the tongue. And if the bitter taste is always we hate the bitter taste. But at the same time, the real position is that the healthy condition of the tongue alone is a necessary one. The healthy condition of your tongue is that it must represent what may be the taste. It may taste, it may express the taste. But at the next moment, it must give up the taste. So that is the correct state of your tongue. That is the healthy state. So in this way, the healthy state of our mind alone is in the same way. Whatever may be the feeling, it must have, and the next moment it must go away from us. We should not retain any feeling, any emotions. If you do not, if you put yourself in a state where we cannot feel any emotion, that is not a good state. If you put your tongue that it cannot taste anything, it is not a good taste. It must have the capacity to taste something, but at the next moment it must remove the taste. So that is the healthy state of your tongue. So in this way, our healthy state of mind is the liberated state, or it is the highest state, the healthy state of our mind. And but at the same time, for the beginners or anything, they will not be fascinated by the healthy state. They want some sweetness of sweet dishes, some varieties of taste. That alone they are interested. So if you search in the language of taste, they will expecting some wrong direction. They are expecting some wrong result. But after going through all the work, all the experiences, then only they will come to the right place. But if you in the very beginning, no taste is the correct state, nobody will come. The tasteless tongue is a good state. No experience state is the correct state, nobody will come to you. And but if you go through all the experiences, go through all the feelings, go through all the emotions, go through all the good feelings and everything, then only they are ready to go beyond the experience, go beyond the emotions. So naturally, if on the way, if they select some state is good, they will be there in they keep themselves attached to the state. But they're temporarily settled with that state. But they cannot stay more for a certain period. They will hate the state also. But they do not know what to do afterwards. But if you have the clear idea what is enlightenment and what is liberation, then it will help. Even though they got struck up in any place, sooner or later they will come to the natural state. You have to explain? Oh yeah.
But and in your of then you understood.
Practice, all practices.
Every body is lost after you already lost. In your experience also was like this. Also like everybody something like then you finally understood, understood that thing, and was this enlightenment which you felt 50. So you had this understanding.
But I have the experiences through meditation, the bliss consciousness, everything. But as other thing, but as you have the taste repeatedly, you have the taste. It will destroy the health of the tongue. If you repeatedly consume sugar or sweet food, it will destroy the health of the tongue. So in this way, if you continuously in the bliss consciousness, it will destroy the health of the body. The body cannot withstand. So there is no difference between actually whatever we experience, the experience will destroy the health of the natural state. The natural state must be in a state, it will get everything and remove everything. So that is a natural state. The next moment it will be free from that. The tongue must be receptive when it tastes some good food, and the next moment it must be free from the food. So that is a healthy state. But if anyone asks what state you prefer, you must be always in the sweet state or in the healthy state. Everybody must prefer the healthy state, because healthy state is only the natural state. If you are in the sweet state, it will destroy, soon it will create more problem. But healthy state will not create any problem. If the tongue becomes sweet always, it creates problem.
Beginners.
No, but they have to go beyond. If you are serious, they will come to the correct state very soon. But at the same time, they must have some knowledge. What is intellectually, must have some idea what is enlightenment, what liberation. And afterwards, if you have the idea, then you go practice and you enjoy bliss consciousness or whatever may be. Then you will very soon return to the original state. Otherwise, if you don't have any idea about enlightenment and liberation, you will mistakenly that bliss consciousness alone is the highest state, bliss consciousness alone is the real state. They will be mistakenly stuck onto some false state. So after then they will take very long time to return to the original state.
Just correctly understand what is
but here, when we understand the meditation or practice will not help to the real state, then you will not give more interest to the meditation or any practice. For example, you are in the evening, you are going for a walk, and you are not expecting anything through your walk, just only some relaxation. You enjoy meditation, so you go meditation. You go walking. You enjoy walking and you go on walking. So in this way, if you enjoy meditation, you can enjoy meditation. But if you expect enlightenment or liberation through meditation, that is wrong. If you, if it is good, for example, you may have some wandering thought. If you are doing meditation, the wandering thought will be subside, and you will have some good feeling. And but it is a basic state. For that level, it is okay. And but at the same time, if you expect, if you do meditation, I will have this kind of effect, then you connect the meditation with some other effect. But at the same time, if you do walking only for the sake of walking and you enjoy walking itself, then there is no problem. So in this way, if you do meditation and you enjoy meditation, that is okay. But if you expect some result from meditation, that is wrong. Liberation means then no block, some natural flowing. So whatever comes, goes. In psychological structure, whatever comes, goes naturally. So the natural flow of our psychological structure is liberation. And the enlightenment is some understanding, some intellectual understanding. So what kind of understanding gives way to the liberation is known as understanding. There are many kinds of understanding. So this kind of understanding alone, because this what kind of understanding means, we have no work psychologically. If you understand that we have no work psychologically, then you do not create any work. Then you give up all your work. So this kind of understanding gives it supports the liberation. Otherwise, the other kind of if you understand we have to do something, then thereby you complain. And we practice something, we do something. So whatever we do is creating some disturbance to the liberation. So this correct understanding alone will not disturb the liberation. So what understanding will not disturb the liberation, that is known as enlightenment. And in the olden days, the surrender to God is given more importance. The surrender to God means, what is surrender? Because we accept God is great, He will do everything. I am comparing with myself, God is great, I am nothing. So if you understand that you are nothing and God does everything, then you surrender before God. So the surrendering before God means what? You are not taking anything in your hand. So you put everything in the hands of God. That means not physically, only psychologically. If you put everything in the hands of God, means you do not do anything on your own. So there is no difference between this kind of surrender and this kind of understanding. So here we have no work here. We are through our knowledge and everything, through our inquiry we find out we have no work here. So when we do not have any work, we will not do any work. So here, in the name of God or anything, He is great, I am nothing. When we have the conviction, we have the faith upon God, we put everything in the hands of God. Actually, there is no difference between the enlightenment and surrender. The correct understanding and surrender is not two. Both are one. Both are same. So when we surrender everything in the hands of God, we are not disturbing the liberation. So when we surrender everything in the hands of God, the liberation is there. Because liberation is always there. Only because of our personal interference, we are disturbing the liberation. Otherwise, if you understand we have no work there, either in the name of surrender or in the name of understanding, then we are not disturbing the liberation. So this is known as understanding or enlightenment. Or even we can say it is a surrender to God. Everything is there. Not take our psychological structure in our hand. Either you have to place it in the hands of God, or we should not touch it. Both are same. But we can do many things in the world that you can do. We can use everything, we can use our mind, we can brain, everything in the world we can do. And if you give up totally psychological world, psychological structure totally, everything will be okay. For example, you take the case of a child. The child is innocent. The child it will express more feeling, more emotions. It will express fear, it will express anger, but at no time it will not feel guilty. It is always completed, it is always total. It is free. It is freely express anger, it will freely express fear, it will, whatever it may, it will not try to correct itself. It is always feel total. But psychologically, if you are total, if you are not undisturbed, if you are undisturbed, then that is the liberated state. So the innocence and the liberation is same. So it is our natural state. Or we are not away from our innocent state. Our innocent state is still there, and we have the intellect. The intellect try to control our innocent state. Our intellect try to control our emotions. So that is the problem. The intellect is useful only to the external situation. The intellect is the waste of energy, and the intellect alone is the problem if it is used against the psychological structure, against ourselves. So we should not use our intellect against ourselves. We can use our intellect to the world. We can use our intellect to the situation. We can intellect to all our duties and everything. But we cannot use our intellect against ourselves. We cannot use our intellect against our emotions or feelings, anything. Then only there is a good combination. Though psychologically we are innocent, and physically we are intelligent. So intelligence and innocence joins together. You able to understand what I have told? Otherwise you can say something. Partly.
Some.
Some.